Hey everyone, welcome to my review of the new Target exclusive re-release figure, MoonKnight. Now this figure was a Walgreens exclusive figure before. I forgot when it came out, but it's obviously very hard to find at the time. So they decided to re-release it and I'm happy they did. So let's go check them out. So for starters, again, the box is in that retro wave packaging, which is a cool picture of MoonKnight right here. Fist of Khonshu, and in the back, also the image, and then just a little bit about the character. So let's open them up. Alright, so here we have the figure itself, and again, this is a reissue of a not too old figure, but one that a lot of people weren't able to get since it was a Walgreens exclusive. I know I was never able to find this figure, but for the most part, he is the same. The only difference that I have been seeing going around is that the shading is a little bit darker on this figure. If you can kind of see it, if my camera, there we go. It is a little bit darker than the Walgreens exclusive from what I've been told. But other than that, it's the same exact figure. And this isn't one, I wish they would at least updated it to make it pinless, but that's not a big issue for me. I mean, the figure does look great. The paint apps, the little paint apps that there are nice. You can kind of see there's a little bit of shading on this figure. Obviously a lot on the chest. But I think overall it's a good looking figure. The pearlescent silver on the gloves and I guess the shins looks great. And then also the moon symbol looks pretty nice. It's clean, no real paint issues whatsoever. So for MoonKnight's articulation, even though he does have a collar, his head can freely rotate side to side. He can look up about that much, which is really good. Look down that much, which is also really good. And he does have a little bit of tilt. For the shoulders, he can go about this much, which is really good. He does have the bicep swivel. Double pinned elbows that can get you, I guess, about that much when the cuff gets in the way. And then he does have wrist rotation and a hinge. And then he also does have this butterfly joint that can go forward about this much. And then if we unplug the cape, go back about that much, which is also really good. The cape can get out the way, it just has it plugged in the back. So if you need to, you can unplug it, but for the most part, it doesn't really get too much in the way of articulation. You can crunch forward about this much, which is pretty good, and then crunch back about that much. Also, the cape doesn't get in the way, and then he does rotate at the waist, and this belt is loose, so you can move it up or down however you want. And again, this looks really cool, just the paint, the pearlescent silver just looks really cool. Now for the leg, can kick out about that much and then kick forward that much with, again, double pins at the knee that can bend this much, boot rotation, and then feet that can hinge forward and back, and then pivots as well, and pivots. And then MoonKnight also has thigh rotation, which I forgot to mention. Now, one thing I do want to mention before I get to the accessories is that, at least for my figure, he is tilting to one side. I know it's pretty noticeable on camera, and it's kind of noticeable in person. I don't know if his one leg is shorter or longer than the other. I don't know if that's just my figure or if that's like all of these MoonKnights, but that's something I do want to mention because it kind of, when I realized it, it kind of made me a little bit upset. But other than that, pretty good. So for accessories, MoonKnight does come with an alternate head. He comes with a bow staff. He comes with a pair of alternate hands that can grab the bow staff. And then he does come with an assortment of, I guess, moon rings, if you want to call them that. Now for some comparisons, here's MoonKnight next to his MCU counterpart, which I have had for a while. And it was my MoonKnight for the shelf. But obviously now having the comic version, there's no comparison. The comic one's so much more better. And here's MoonKnight next to the X-Men 97 Wave Wolverine. There he is next to the X-Men 97 Wave Gambit. The San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Deadpool. Next to the Astonishing Ant-Man, which do share, I believe, the same body. And there's MoonKnight next to two other Target exclusive Marvel Legends, and I do think are probably one of my top 5 figures that I've had this year. And lastly, here's MoonKnight next to some DC Multiverse Target exclusive figures. Now overall, while this is a reissue figure, I am very grateful that Hasbro decided to re-release it. It's one that I've been eyeing on for a while, but I wasn't willing to pay that much for it. And for a $25 figure, this comes with great accessories. It's a great looking figure, and overall, it's just one that I highly recommend you pick up. I know I say that a lot, but this one is very, very good. The only thing I wish he did have was maybe pinless body parts. That's pretty much it. That's all I can really ask for. The accessories are great, and the paintwork, it's MoonKnight, so he doesn't really need that much paint. I think it's pretty good. Maybe upgrading him with the soft goods cape will make this figure so much more better. But other than that, let me know what you guys think. Are you gonna pick him up? Have you picked him up? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.